webinar session on the topic marketing automation. I would like to give a brief introduction about today's expert, Mr. Ram Jalan. He is IIM Calcutta graduate, has over 16 years of experience as entrepreneur and marketing consultant and internet evangelist. He is a consumer behaviorist, tech and marketing consultant pursuing experiments in the field of marketing automation and consumer neuromarketing with University of Illinois, USA. Today's era, which is a need of, we can say that marketing automation. Irrespective of any industry, there is no survival of anyone without marketing automation. So I think today's expert will share some lights on the area of marketing innovation and how it would be beneficial, as well as what would be the adverse effects, what would be the challenges also. So I would like to request Ram Jalan sir that you can start your session. I would like to hand over this platform to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this lovely platform, and I congratulate you and the university to keep the learning on in this pandemic times, which is the time of uncertainty. But I've been telling everyone, whoever I'm interacting with is there is a code that I have developed for this situation called "This is the only time you have so much of time in your lifetime." And this is the time when we need to use it for our learning, for our development. And if you are connected to a business, tell them that this is the only time to look inwards into their business and how to build it up. So coming back to the most important topic for today, which I feel is very important for businesses to look into, and very important for students to learn and understand that how can they educate themselves and make themselves champion on this topic is called digital marketing automation. I want to keep it interactive, and secondly, I have not put anything in my presentation which you can receive after Googling, because I feel that anything that is Googleable should not be shared on such a platform. I'm trying to share my experiences, my journey of digital marketing automation with you, everyone, and I want to keep it interactive. I just want to understand. I'll keep asking you questions, and just write Y for yes and N for no during this presentation. So what I understand, my first question is how many of you understand what is marketing automation? Do you know what is marketing automation as a topic? How many of us know? I just want to understand. Okay, fine. So marketing automation is one of the most important tools today that businesses need to use to build their business. So my introduction has been given, so I just skip this slide. So what is the main difference between a traditional marketing and digital marketing? So typically, traditional marketing, if you see, was one to many. Of course, newspaper is one to many, wherein one paper ad reaches lakhs on lakhs of people. And it gives you the power of reaching it to different audience. It's a great monologue. It's a one-way communication because nobody can ask you a question on a print ad. It's instant and deliberate. Yes, it is mass marketing for sure. It talks about the general need. You don't know what's the specific need of a person who is reading the newspaper at given point of time. It's a general need. Yes, it does help you in your branding, and it does help you in your segmentation as well. Now, what is the advantage of digital? When you move on to the digital platform, it's one to many, of course. It is many to many. So, you can create different groups of your consumers or cohorts to whom you can offer different products and services. Yeah, it's a great dialogue. So you can push out a message to your audience online, and they would definitely respond to you, and you get into a conversation. So you have seen a lot of Facebook or Google ads wherein when you click on the ad, a chat box opens and you can start interacting with the person on the other end. Third, it is thoughtful. So you think about a certain campaign before you release that campaign out in the market, and it is very individual. So it's one to one. You can go to an individual person target an individual person on different platforms and market your product. It's personalized, of course. You get to know a common interest group of multiple people, and it is informative, and you can build communities around it. Do you all know what are communities on Facebook or online communities? That's another question of mine, because that's very important to understand what are communities and how does it typically behave, and how does it typically work for a consumer. Because when you understand what communities are, it becomes very interesting. Okay, cool. Now, going on to the next point herein, that what is the benefit of a of marketing automation? So there are three important benefits of digital marketing automation, which is awareness, instant communication, and social currency. So yes, it is easy to create awareness and engagement both before and after the sale. That is the power of automation. It is instant communication, so you can convert new buyers into fans. And third, it is a social currency. So you create a social currency wherein you kickstart word of mouth publicity for everyone. So these are the three very important tenets of marketing automation. And uh, how technical it may sound, or how uh, uh, technological it may sound, or how futuristic it may sound, but marketing automation begins with your brand. So your fundamentals of marketing, your fundamentals of consumer behavior, your 4 P's of marketing cannot be forgotten before you jump onto the marketing automation bandwagon. And therefore, your marketing automation begins with your brand. I'm sure all of you must have studied what is brand automation and brand marketing, and what is a brand strategy in your marketing syllabus. So when you do a brand strategy, then you define your marketing strategy. And when you define your marketing strategy, there you decide, what are the channels of marketing you want to use. So what are the channels you want to use as offline marketing, and what are the channels you want to use as online marketing. So your online marketing consists of your digital marketing. So, the third strategy that you create after the brand and marketing strategy is your digital strategy. And we all know, in a digital marketing strategy, your SEO, social media management, search engine marketing, content marketing all come into picture. I'm sure most of you must have heard these terms, and these are not new terms for you. These abbreviations like SEO, SEM, SMM. In case you have trouble in understanding any of the abbreviations that I use from the digital marketing parlance, please feel free to put it on the chat window and I'll respond. Now, what is a sales cycle? I mean, we all understand that whatever business exists for profit. I'm not talking philosophically. I'm just talking commercially. So, objective of a business to exist is for profit. Simple as that. And how does that happen for a business? Business is there for an exchange. They offer a product and a service which is required by the audience, or the customer is willing to pay for, and in return they get cash. Yeah. So how does the entire funnel work? So when you talk about sales funnel, it's very important that sales funnel works on different criterias. So the slide that you see right now, I hope you're able to see the slides clearly. It typically it has a sales funnel wherein you have brand and buzz, yeah, to create awareness about your brand, which is online and offline. The second level to that funnel is you do demand generation. So when I say demand generation, it typically means that uh, the number of people who respond to your ad, the number of people who put an inquiry for what you are trying to sell. Like, for example, if you see an e-commerce ad for a particular garment, for a particular shoe on any digital platform, what you do, you click on that ad, go to the product detail page, look at the specification and the price, and if it meets your budget, then you immediately go in and buy the product. So till the time you buy, you have become a lead for that brand. Now, suppose imagine that you go to the product detail page after clicking the ad and you drop out, right? Now, if you are a registered user on that platform, the platform will come back and follow you on social media and give you counter offers. That okay, the original product was 100 rupee, 1000 rupees. Now we are giving you a 10% discount. Now this product is available at 900 rupees. So, they are trying to nurture you. So once you have become a lead for them, they are trying to keep you interested. Now, still you don't decide to buy. Now, what they will do, they have understood that your interest is in that particular t-shirt or a particular shoe. They'll try to send you other product designs. And this is the latest shoe, this is the latest t-shirt. And finally, you would like something very interesting. And you say, yes, this is the right choice, this is the right deal. Let me go and buy it. So finally, you convert from a lead to sales. And in between, in throughout this entire process, we can call it marketeering, marketing plus engineering. Therein, do you think all this process can be done manually? I mean, it can be done for a business which is just dealing with 5 or 10 customers. And we all know that a 5 and 10 customer business cannot make money beyond a point. Yeah, unless you are selling Rolls Royce. I mean, Rolls Royce must be selling 300, 400 cars in a year, and they are profitable, because that's a very, very niche category and the product price is very, very high. But when you are into a mass product selling, you cannot deal with 5 to 6 customers. You have to deal with 5 million to 6 million customers to make a lot of money, because the margins are less. In that scenario, how do you manage your sales funnel? You cannot manage it manually, and therefore you have to use marketing plus engineering together. And that's where the power of automation comes in. So the picture on the right is just for a bit of humor. So don't consider it serious at all. So let's talk about what is the anatomy of a marketing automation platform. What does it consist of? Yeah, I'm now getting into exact features of a marketing automation platform. So till now, if you have any question, please feel free to just put the question in the chat window, and I'll be happy to answer any question you might have. Right? Okay. So considering we don't have any questions, I'm moving ahead. Anatomy of a marketing automation platform. Typically, it consists of email marketing, landing pages, campaign management. So campaign management is the journey from deciding what to promote, where to promote, when to promote, is the entire campaign management journey, typically, right? And that's where the most powerful feature of marketing automation comes into picture, that is campaign management. Fourth, you have marketing programs. See, any business who is trying to make money from the market, whether it's today's scenario, whether it's business as usual, it cannot survive on one particular campaign. And gone are those days when you used to do an ad in March and wait until April for the response to come in. Now, there are a lot of companies in the same category, and they are trying to sell similar products, and the differentiator is price. So therefore, you have to have a very compelling marketing program existing, and that can be beautifully done on a marketing automation platform. Fifth is lead generation. So of course, we need to generate leads. We need to know who are the people interested in our business. Sixth, and a very interesting point that marketing automation provides you is, scoring. All your customers are not important. All your leads are not sellable. And we all know that whoever comes to our shop or whoever comes online to our e-commerce store will not convert as a buyer. Like, you don't go to every site and do shopping. So it's important that my system has the power of algorithm or artificial intelligence that can score me or give me a rating on the basis of my past behavior. So let me take an example here. Give a scenario that you are a person who usually visits different e-commerce sites, and you do a lot of research. So suppose you like a mobile handset, you will go to Amazon, you will go to Flipkart, you will go to 2 more sites, and before you finally buy, you do a comparison on features and price. Now, as an e-commerce player who is into mobile handsets, if I have a very powerful marketing automation and algorithm system, I will score you. Let's see, I know he has come to my site, and I also know by his past behavior that he will be going to 3 different sites. Before he goes there, let me give him a counter offer on email or SMS or WhatsApp. So a predictive score gives me that power to communicate with you instantly and give you an offer. Seventh is lead management. So lead management will typically mean pre-sales and post-sales both. So when I talk about lead management in a post-sale scenario, is you can always go back to the customer who has purchased a mobile phone and say, "Sir, we have this interesting headphone. Are you interested? We have this new wireless contactless charger. Are you interested?" So all these behaviors can be done very powerfully using a marketing automation platform. Then, of course, you have the customer relationship management integration to answer consumer queries if somebody is unable to understand a feature. I have taken mobile phone as an example, which can fit into all these 11 points. You can take any product, for example, and you will find that all these 11 points will fit into that product journey. Whether it's a B2C product like apparels, mobile phones, or it is a B2B product like a solar panel, or you are manufacturing water purifiers, or somebody is manufacturing air conditions for corporates. Take any product category, these 11 points will be part of the journey. So ninth point is, the social marketing. Every business will go out and say something about its services or products on social media. 10th is resource management. Now, you may ask me how resource management is helpful in marketing automation. See, typically, if you see large size companies, they don't operate with a one member marketing team, or even if they have a small marketing team inside, they have an agency partner who is taking care of a major part of their marketing operation. So, for you students, you also have an opportunity to work with growing marketing agencies in India, not only working only with brands. So I'll give you a small example, personal experience of mine. After working in brands for 3-4 years, I decided to go on the agency side. Why? Because the agency side experience was I got to work with multiple brands. Whereas when I was on the brand side, I was working only with one brand. And when I went to the agency side, I was working with 4 different brands and their marketing strategy. So keep your imagination open and be ready to work on the agency side also. Now coming back to the 11th point, and which is the most important point, is your analytics. So how do you analyze whatever money you have invested in the campaign? What is the outcome? What is the ROI? How many people did you reach? So to do all these processes, you need a lot of resources, and all these resources can be configured in your marketing automation platform. That is where resource management comes in. So you can have somebody who will design only emailers. He is a creative person. Second, you will have a person who will be designing all your webinars like this, who will be configuring Google Meetup, who will be configuring Zoom or other webinar platforms. So, all these 11 points can be configured in any good and powerful marketing automation platform. So, a lot of people ask me that, Google Sheets can also be used as a marketing automation platform. To be honest, my answer is no. See, Google Sheet is a very powerful office suite, and there are some very intelligent scripts by Google which help you run marketing automation inside, uh, Google Sheets. But that's not the great platform for running your marketing automation. So some of very good marketing automation platforms that you will come across for an enterprise, it will be like Adobe Marketing Cloud. Yeah, then you have Oracle's product called Responses. Then you have IBM's product on marketing automation. Then you have Microsoft Dynamics, which is a CRM come marketing automation product. So these are very expensive and enterprise grade products. Now, on a product which is very good as a starter, and for companies who are dealing with, say, 10 lakh, 15 lakh customers, like HubSpot, is a great product to work on. So now coming back to how do you build your strategy around audience? So any marketing automation begins with your customers. So once you have defined your brand, marketing, and product strategy, you need to define your audience, understand who the audience is. Because in marketing automation platform, what you store is the consumer data, is the consumer information. The information, types of information are who are the people who have visited your site, who are the people who have interacted with your ad campaigns on your Google ads or a social media ad, who are the people who are reading your blogs, who are the folks who have filled up your lead form on the website. I'm sure all of you must have seen forms on website today. asking you to either subscribe to the newsletter or fill up the form so that a salesperson can contact you. And also the new way of generating customer data is online chats. So as soon as you go to the website, you will see a chat box opens, and there they ask you to fill your name, email ID, and mobile number. So these are the methods of cultivating your audience data. So therefore, marketing automation platform, it's very important कि आप अपना audience का data ready करो, so that you can understand your audience, monitor your audience, target your audience in the right way, so that you can market them very effectively. And eventually, of course, our objective is to convert that audience to customers. So marketing automation, like any marketing strategy, it's a journey. It's not that you just show an ad. It's not binary. So if a customer is not looking at your ad and clicking it and converting it immediately, but if you nurture him, if you follow him, and if you send him the right communication, he will definitely convert with you in future, or he will refer someone. So the customer value journey is very important to know to understand marketing automation. So the stages of marketing automation are aware, engage, subscribe, convert, excite, ascend, advocate, and promote. So now we are going to touch upon each of these 8 journey points of a customer on a marketing automation platform. And when I say we will be touching upon each point, means what is the channel of digital marketing in marketing automation that can be used to help consumer in each of these levels. So for example, when a person is at the first stage of awareness. So what is the awareness stage? From our common sense, we can easily say, all of us, is a stage where your prospect becomes aware about your products and services. And how do you do that in the marketing automation system? So let's take an example. Yeah. A father sees an ad for a new school for its kids and its unique extracurricular activities on Facebook. Yeah. Other example could be a newlywed couple looking for an apartment close to their office on Google. Or a young girl looking for a lip gloss on Instagram. So when you are getting aware about a category of your choice, of your interest, so we all must have heard this term called market positioning. So what is the positioning of your product? So positioning of your product or services, when you position your product to your audience in such a way, it matches their instant need or their impulsive need or your latent need. And awareness is that stage using display marketing, whether it's on Google or Facebook, using search marketing, social media marketing, and content marketing. You create that awareness about your product and services. So it's typically the stage of branding. Yeah. Now we'll move on to the next stage. Once the person has become aware about your brand, the next stage is engagement. Now they know who you are, right? But they don't yet like you or trust you. For example, a company which is trying to promote new personal care products, maybe eyelashes, lipstick, or other, cosmetic products, the ladies, the girls would be very careful in choosing that brand, because their questions would be that what is the quality? How much is the lead content? Is it safe or not? What people are talking about the brand on the internet? Is there a negative review? Of course, these are the questions that will come into our minds also as a consumer, as a savvy consumer. So so it's very important for a brand to engage the user. Now I will repeat myself that these stages of buying journey is not only for a FMCG or a fashion or an automobile company. It is also relevant for a B2B company which is into manufacturing. Like today, if you take the example of pharma, post COVID, there would be a lot of companies who would start selling you immunity medicines. Yeah, you will have immunity medicines in Ayurveda, in allopathy, in homeopathy. But before you decide to buy a product, what would you do? You will go online and engage with that brand and its existing customers. So, community marketing, email marketing, video marketing, and social media are amazing channels on marketing automation to engage the user, right? So examples are a father receives an email from a mutual fund company to save for his kids' future education. So engagement. Owner of a boutique event management agency becomes active in a Facebook community of young moms, and residents. A new mother watches a video of a pediatrician how to give bath to her baby. Now, in the third example, where the young mother is watching a video of a doctor on bathing her child, if she finds the video interesting, what would be the next level of action from her? She will definitely go further and try to inquire about the doctor. She would check that what is the reputation of the doctor, and God forbid in future if she needs a pediatrician for her child, the probability that this doctor's name will come in her mind is obvious because she had liked the content of this person earlier. So that is the value of engagement. And now, how does marketing automation help here? Is marketing automation helps you in interacting with the people again who have got aware about your brand. So a lot of time you will see the products you have searched on Amazon, you see the same ad of that product following you on Facebook. In marketing terms, we call it remarketing. Search for the term remarketing online, you will get plethora of information on that. Now, once the awareness and engagement has happened, you subscribe. So this is the permission stage. I would take your permission and ask you to fill a form and tell you, sir, can I have your name, email ID, so that I can send you some more information about what your interest area. Because for a marketer, unless you get this contact now, you will never be able to identify that who the person is and what his detailed need is. So this is the stage of permission marketing. So you typically, go out and take user information. So, for example, what is happening in real estate in this COVID time is the physical site visits have stopped. So, lot of people, lot of brands and companies are doing virtual site visits for people, and people are going online, attending webinar, and looking at how the project site looks. When you all, as students, look, some of you will go ahead and do some future courses or future studies also. Somebody might enroll for a PhD program. People who are in BBA will go for their MBA program, etc., etc. So what you do, you typically go to different sites like shiksha.com or indiaexaminationforum.com or careerandanswer.org and fill up the form that you want to know more about doctorate in certain field. So that's subscribing to that product or service to have more information. Now, after you fill up that form, it's not a human being who's sending you an email. It's the marketing automation platform who is sending you all that information automatically. Now, when your, subscription has happened, awareness has happened, engagement has happened, it's now the time to convert. It's now the time to send you an offer. Because I know as a marketer that your area of interest are on these parameters. These are the ads on which you have interacted. These are the blogs you have read on my site. These are the forms you have filled, or these are the information you have downloaded from my site. So my marketing automation platform is giving me a view of you as a customer, that what are the things that you have done in the previous stages on my social media pages, on my websites, or on the different digital communication that I have done with you. So I start deploying entry point offers for you. So for a typical student who's exploring to do her future studies in Australia, I would give you information on different colleges which is relevant to your interest, for example. Or for somebody who's planning to buy the new iPhone, or sorry, a new phone, let's forget the brand right now, who's planning to buy a new phone with certain features, I will start giving you different options of different phones, which you can go ahead and opt for. So, vice president of a company purchases a management consultant's book on the author's website. Why? Because he has been reading different articles and blogs about a particular author, about the way to do business. And now, when he is convinced about the thoughts and the articles of that author, he goes ahead and buys his book. So, this is the stage for conversion. Now, suppose he is not converting. He still decides that no, I'm going to take some more time before I decide to convert. right? Now, this is a stage to excite him further because he may be still a lead by till now. He may not have finally paid you money. So your responsibility increases multifold because you have already taken him through 4 stages. It's your fifth stage. You cannot lose the customer right now. You now need to pursue him or even call him or interact with him and tell him, sir, what is the reason and what is holding you back from the purchase? Can I make the deal sweeter? Can I give you some more information that helps you move towards a better decision? For an automobile, you would see the journey of excitement begins once you have taken a test ride in a car. As soon as you finish the test drive, the salesperson will start chasing you. While I don't believe that's a great strategy, that the salesperson should not be pestering you so much, but using marketing automation, you can do this beautifully. As soon as the person finishes the test drive, you can send him a very exciting video about people who own that car, and which will act as a testimonial, which will act as a recommendation. You can send him a emailer or a blog article link talking about, by a person who is a celebrity in reviewing cars. Maybe somebody from Autocar, somebody from Car Deco, somebody, from other brand who are into the business of reviewing cars, right? Let's take an example that's written here. Point number 3. A man watches life-changing video blogs, vlogs or video blogs, shared by his gym instructor before the class and gets free sessions. So a lot of times you do your marketing to create an opportunity for try and buy, especially in categories which is related to health and subscriptions, where you have to subscribe to something. You would see brands coming up to you and giving you a free offer to try. So it's a trial marketing. You can read more about trial marketing online also. Now, this is a stage to ascend. Yeah. Maybe you still haven't made money. The person has utilized the free try and buy option that you have given him. If you are able to continue engaging him beyond this point, profits will definitely follow for you. You can convert him from subscribing to trial subscription or trial package to to make him buy a 12 months membership. You yourself must have experienced a lot of times after you try and buy something for certain time, you end up buying that product. Like walk into Shopper Stop, walk into Pantaloons, walk into Lifestyle, and as soon as you go into the perfumery section, you would find a salesperson running to you and saying, so why don't you try this perfume? And he would try to spray few droplets of that perfume on a cardboard strip and ask you to smell. And if you like that aroma, you get into conversation. You say, no, I like, more lighter fragrance. I like more muskier fragrance. And then the salesperson is very smart, understanding your taste and preference. He starts pitching you products of your interest. And you keep trying more and more. He'll make you smell coffee beans in between. All this thing can be done beautifully through marketing automation. Of course, that physical smell of aroma will not surface, but the virtually you can send him information on different perfumes matching his interest, because you would be constantly interacting with him and seeing which are the emailers of which brands of products he is opening regularly. On the basis of that, you will create an analysis that, you know these are the ways you can pitch a new product to him. So you would see frequently accessories buyers spend on a complete suit with a free accessory. So what they do, they try to make you pay for 3 products and they give you 2 products free. So, this is the stage where you try to upsell, you try to cross sell and increase the value of transaction with your customer. Now, advocate, he has finally converted and you have a happy customer. The customer, has done transaction from you and he's consuming that product. You should not leave him at this stage. Your marketing automation tool should trigger, different emailers or campaigns or different ads about him to your other customers who are waiting to be converted. So he is a ready testimonial. He is a happy customer who will talk great things about your product. He would talk great things about your brand. And this is a time to take that testimonial in his happy mood and share it with other people who are sitting on the fence, are yet to be converted. And once you have that testimonial corporate video, you can put it on social media marketing, display marketing, search marketing. Now, what does marketing automation do for you here? Once you create a testimonial and start amplifying it on different platforms, marketing automation analytics will give you the information that yes, for example, Ram, who was waiting in the on the fence and not converting to buy that very interesting SUV that you have to sell, he has been watching your videos. He has been looking at other customers' testimonials. That means one, he's still interested. Two, he's liking those videos. That's why he has been watching those videos. Third, he is waiting for someone to pursue him further. He's waiting for someone to engage with him again. Because last time when somebody from your sales tried to reach out to him, he said, अभी रुक जाओ, अभी मैंने डिसीजन नहीं लिया है, मैं कहीं बिजी हूं, मुझे अभी कॉल मत करना. But maybe he is not ready for that physical conversation, but he is ready for that digital conversation. A lot of customers, friends, they are shying away from receiving calls from marketing agencies because they feel spammed. It is overwhelming to receive so many messages and so many phone calls every day, which is unrelated, which, by people with whom you have never done business or you don't want to do business. So, marketing automation can work as a great tool to just keep them engaged virtually and just look for the right time to set the conversation again. So once you have done all that and, people are on your side and people had great experience with your company, your trust is on your side. Their trust is on your side. Now, what you do, you don't forget them. So, if you look at brands like Toyota or Mercedes or BMW, they keep inviting their owners to different events and festivals. They might not be making more money from them immediately, but customer once is a customer for life. Why is he customer for life? Because tomorrow, after 4 years, he would definitely change his car. And that is the time for him to remember that, yes, BMW has always taken care of me. BMW did not sell me that interesting S series car and forgot about me. Second, suppose somebody you're into software selling. So once you have sold the software license to a particular business house, keep sending them more information or emails on how to make most of their license fees. Friends, I want to share one information from my personal experience of selling software licenses is 70% of the people who buy a software license do not use more than 50% of the features of that software. And out of those 70%, 50% do not subscribe to the software again after 1 year. So you're talking about 35% of the people on your base of 100 people not renewing after year one. Imagine if you have to get 35 more people to buy your license in the next year, it's a tough task. So it's not only about selling at the first stage, it's not about getting money at the stage one. It is very important to keep the people engaged so that they feel value out of their purchase. Why do you think Mercedes and other premium car brands or premium hotel brands or premium real estate brands keep talking about the brand which is already sold? There is a term in marketing called pride of ownership. It is very important that you use your marketing automation platform to keep the people engaged and let them have a feeling of pride of ownership even after the sale has happened. So that brings me to the next point. Should digital marketing be integrated? I mean, a lot of times when I have taken this session on marketing automation and the marketing automation journey for customers, the question that comes to me is, should digital marketing be integrated? Of course, the answer is yes. Marketing automation is not the prerogative of the marketing department. Marketing automation is not only the responsibility of a marketing person like you and me. Yes, to put on the lighter side, तलवार हमारे गर्दन पे ही लटकती है. अगर कोई कैंपेन अच्छा नहीं होगा, अगर कोई कैंपेन सक्सेसफुल नहीं होगा, अगर कोई कैंपेन से अच्छी आरओआई नहीं आएगी, तो हमारा बॉस हमें ही बोलेगा कि आपने जो मार्केटिंग डिसीजन लिया वो गलत था. पर मार्केटिंग लीड जनरेट कर देती है, और उसके बाद सेल्स की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी होती है टू कन्वर्ट दैट लीड इनटू सेल्स. Therefore, your digital marketing cannot run in isolation. So it's very important that you integrate your sales, you integrate your finance, you integrate your customer care department wherever you start working and before you start running your marketing automation. So very three important points that I've written here is no digital marketing channel can bring results on its own, which I have already told you that we marketers cannot get ROI by ourselves. We cannot be single man army. Second, traffic doesn't bring revenue. Customers do, and customers are everywhere. So your as marketers, our job is to get the prospects to the platform to make people from aware to interested. You need paid ads, content marketing, email marketing, organic search, sales pipeline to keep business running. So therefore, it is very important that you have the right set of tools through marketing automation ready to travel the prospect from the journey of prospect to customer using marketing automation. Now, very important point, marketing automation is a great tool. Today it is marketing automation. Yes, tomorrow it will be AI and ML, which is part of, integrated into marketing automation. Future may, there will be something else. But we marketers need to be rock solid people. And we marketers need to have rock solid mindset. And there are certain skills that we marketers need to have before even venturing out onto marketing automation. So we need to be digitally savvy and search led. We need to search for new technologies. So after this session, go deep into marketing automation online and search for more information on marketing automation. There are a lot of stuff which is Googleable. Second, be content centric. See, all the conversation, all the excitement, all the interaction that happens today is what is the content you are putting out. You would see that on YouTube, forget about the celebrity and the Bollywood content. Those are entertainment content like fashion with high rate of obsolescence. All the educational content you would see, few have 2 million views, but the others have even not more than 200 views. Why? Because it's all about the content. Content virality takes time. Third, you need to be socially apt. Your own profile on LinkedIn, your own profile on social media, your company's profile on different social media platforms, that needs to be very, very clean and neat. Fourth, you need to be result focused. Unless you are result focused, you cannot justify the spends on marketing. So by result focused, I mean you also need to be commercially aware. You need to be very strong on what are the numbers that's accruing through your investment. In these COVID times, the most hard hit department in the company would be marketing, because marketing is always considered as a cost center. So you will have to justify that why marketing is justified for a business. Today, you are in an academic environment. Tomorrow, you will go to corporates, and very soon you will be going into corporates. So the impact of COVID will be carried forward. So you need to be very frugal on how to do marketing in a frugal way. Fifth, friends, I always tell everybody, marketers are like doctors. हम लोग डॉक्टर्स की तरह हैं. हमारे पास रोज एक प्रॉब्लम आएगी, रोज कोई ना कोई बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम लेके आएगा, और एज डॉक्टर्स हमें दवाइयां लिखनी पड़ेंगी. सो इसीलिए जितनी दवाइयों का ज्ञान, एज मच नॉलेज अबाउट मेडिसिन, एज मच नॉलेज अबाउट मार्केटिंग सोल्यूशंस, एज मच नॉलेज अबाउट मार्केटिंग differentiators we know, that successful we would be. And for all these 5 things to happen, we need to be data driven. Folks, you don't need to be statisticians. You don't need to know trigonometry. You don't need to know calculus. You only need to know your division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. If you can know elementary arithmetics up to class 10, which is important for cracking a CAT exam, you are sorted. You don't need rocket science to be a marketer, to analyze data. You can hire a data scientist or a statistician for that. As a marketer, you don't yourself need to get into so much of calculations. Have basic understanding of data. Thank you. I am towards the end of my presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for providing valuable insights to our entire audience. One question from my side that I would like to ask that up to what extent marketing automation platform has replaced marketers, and is it applicable for all small business also?
Uh, Great question, ma'am. Marketing automation has not replaced marketers. They have made marketers more powerful because marketing automation is a very idiotic platform. It needs very intelligent people like you and me to run it. And number two, yes, marketing automation is the need of the hour for all small businesses also. Small businesses need to get onto marketing automation very, very fast. So just to share with you an example, today morning at 6:30 to 8:30, I was on a webinar with 150 exporters from India who are struggling to generate business outside India. And my pitch to them was, as soon as you get onto marketing automation platform, the better it is for your company. Because without marketing automation, you cannot reach out to the target audience. Today is not the time you can call anybody and try to sell your service.
Right. Okay. One more question. Then after I would like to hand over this questions to Rumin sir also. One question, sir, that when there is a difference between marketing automation software and CRM software, customer relationship management software, or both are same or overlapping to each other?
Both of them are very different. Marketing automation is about, automating the process of reaching to your customer and interacting with the customer. So there is a terminology called inbound marketing and outbound marketing. So outbound marketing is when you reach out to the people through ads and paid ads. Inbound marketing is when you are creating such content wherein people are coming to your platform and engaging with your service. CRM is in between, wherein after they have engaged with your brand, after they have made a transaction, how are you interacting with them? So CRM is a separate technology stack and marketing automation is a separate stack.
Okay. Okay. Dhrumin, sir, you can ask a question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Jalan.
Good morning. Yes, sir.
My question is, we have seen new marketing automation platforms coming up in a big way. When HubSpot first started their business, we did not even thought that it would reach to a level where it is right now, while it is competing with platforms or services like IBM. So can you tell us what is it that HubSpot is doing very differently, or what is it that HubSpot is doing for the marketeers that IBM is not able to do, or what are the differences, or why we are more prone towards HubSpot rather than going towards IBM?
Great question. See, so one thing that I want to mention is HubSpot came into India in 2016, right? And in 2017, I was one of their first 10 clients in India who started using HubSpot. And we were using Microsoft before that and Salesforce before that. I would not say Salesforce and Microsoft Marketing Cloud are bad platforms, but for a small and medium enterprise to adopt such huge platforms like Salesforce or Microsoft becomes very expensive because the license fees are very expensive. Second, it is very cumbersome because you need to have a huge technical team, technology team who can code. So it requires a lot of coding. Third, it does not make sense to have such large enterprise platforms unless you are talking about 5-10 million customer base. Now, what does HubSpot done? They have very smartly targeted the middle of the pyramid. And when I say middle of the pyramid, it is catering to businesses that has 10,000 customers, 5,000 customers, or 50,000 customers. And they have smartly integrated email marketing, lead nurturing, lead scoring, lead management, CRM into one platform. So for a company which has just started its digital journey at one license cost, you are able to get all the features that a big business uses today. Whereas other platforms sold all these things separately. So that's why HubSpot became very popular, because it was price efficient. Second, what HubSpot did, which other big brands did not do, is educating. So one point, as I was mentioning, that you have to bring delight to your customer. They have created enormous quantity of content online on how to use the product. So one disclaimer that I am HubSpot a trainer in India for most of the brands who use HubSpot in their organization. So one thing I realized that they are very happy with using HubSpot because HubSpot provides them training support through people like us. So it became very exciting for these businesses to subscribe to HubSpot because they were able to see ROI month on month.
Okay. So can we say that the reason behind HubSpot's success is because they were able to identify a better segment in a B2B area?
So one correction, HubSpot is not only for B2B, HubSpot is both B2B and B2C. It is for
Yes.
certain marketing objectives, and certainly, as I said, they have been able to target a segment which was price sensitive and where affording a huge marketing team was not possible.
All right. Thank you. That answers my question.
Pleasure.
Just one last questions. Sir, suppose a student from diverse background like engineering, commerce, and management. So in that case, is there any requirement to learn a specific automation software for them? Or they can take help of experts? And some basic knowledge is required to understand the analytics?
I was exactly going to say that if you even don't know how to create an emailer or configure a ad campaign, that is okay, not necessary. But as a marketer, as a business person, it's very important to understand analytics. So it is advisable that you go online and learn the basic analytics tool like Google Analytics or HubSpot Analytics and etc. So that you are empowered to understand which direction your business is going.
Okay. Okay, fine. So thank you so much, sir, for providing your valuable insights in marketing automation, brand automation, and the entire customer value journey. We would like to get us further insights in area of consumer neuroscience marketing and brand engagement. So definitely we'll arrange this webinar in future also for the brand, how to create a brand strategy in online media. Thank you very much for providing your time and suggestions with our entire PU audience and outside PU audience. Thank you, Dhrumin sir. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. On
Thank you.
behalf of
Thank you for having me, man.
Management Studies, Dr. Vijay Javeri, providing special thanks and congratulations for providing valuable insights in area of marketing automation platform. And it would be definitely helpful to all the students that after COVID-19, they are going to join any corporates and they will come to know that what are the certain steps are required and they have to make ready in this situation. Thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure, ma'am. And all the best to all the students for their future careers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.